Franklin's Nickname by Paulette, Bourgeois and Brenda Clark. Hi, my name is Werner. I've been reading hundreds of books for you. Please subscribe to see them all. And watch until the end, where a surprise is waiting for you. Mom can help you there. Thank you. Franklin could score goals in hockey and hit home runs in baseball. He could dribble a basketball and kick a soccer ball. Franklin wanted to be a famous athlete when he grew up. Then one day, Mr. Owl asked his students to do projects on sports heroes. That's when Franklin discovered he had a problem. Franklin chose his favorite soccer player, Bounce, Baboon. First, he spent lots of time in the library looking for information. Then he searched for photos in newspapers and magazines. Soon the classroom was decorated with everyone's reports. Franklin looked at all the other projects. He read out the names of the athletes. There was Slugger and Slider and King. There was Lightning and Giant and Blaze. Every athlete has a nickname, Franklin said. Then he thought for a moment. If I'm going to be a famous athlete, I'd better get a nickname too, he said. Franklin spent the rest of the afternoon thinking about nicknames. Maybe he could be called Rocket, or Comet, or maybe Flash. Franklin smiled. Franklin the Flash, that sounded good. Earth to Franklin, called Beaver. School's over. Franklin jumped up and ran after his friends. On the school bus, Franklin let everyone know that he had picked a nickname. From now on, call me Flash, he announced. You can't just give yourself a nickname, said Beaver. Others get to decide. Because of something you do, added Bear. And you're definitely not Flash, said Beaver. Franklin frowned. Beaver thought for a few moments. I know, she exclaimed. We'll call you Pokey. Pokey's no good, Franklin declared. How can I be a famous athlete if I'm called Pokey? It suits you, Franklin, replied Bear. We're always telling you to hurry up. It's cute, added Beaver. Franklin scowled. At home, Franklin asked everyone to call him Flash. His mother forgot and called him Honey. His father forgot and called him Buddy. His little sister Harriet remembered, but she called him something that sounded like Fass. Franklin went to his room to think. The next day was Saturday, and Franklin had a plan. He hurried to meet his friends at the park. Hey, Pokey, said Beaver, we have been waiting for you. Franklin smiled. After today, you won't be calling me Pokey anymore, he said. Everyone was curious. I will prove that I'm Franklin the Flash, Franklin said. How? asked Bear. Franklin pointed to his bike. I'll ride my bike around the park 3 times in a flash, he announced. Good idea, said Bear. And he jumped on his bike too. Franklin pedaled as fast as he could. But on the second time round, he got slower and slower. His front wheel began to wobble, and Franklin fell over. Bear kept going. "Come on, Franklin," he cried. "Don't stop now." Franklin groaned and didn't move. In a little while Franklin had another plan. "I'll swim to the other side of the pond in a flash," he said. "Good idea," said Beaver. Franklin jumped into the water. So did Beaver. When Franklin reached the other side, Beaver was already there. "Give up?" she asked. "Never," said Franklin. Franklin thought and thought. "I will run up the hill in a flash," he finally said. "Good idea," said Rabbit. Halfway up, Franklin huffed and puffed and came to a stop. Rabbit ran by him all the way to the top. "Keep going, Franklin," cried Rabbit. "You are almost there." Franklin sighed and sat down. His friends sat down beside him. "Do you want to try something else?" asked Beaver. "Maybe tomorrow," replied Franklin. "Right now I'm too tired." "And I'm hungry," added Bear. Everyone else was hungry too. Franklin jumped up. "I have ice cream bars at home," he said. "Wait here and I'll be back in a flash." Everyone waited as Franklin ran down the hill and across the meadow. They waited as he hurried over the bridge and through the berry patch. They waited as Franklin reached home and asked his mother for ice cream bars. They waited as Franklin hunted through the icebox. They waited as he ran through the berry patch, over the bridge and across the meadow. Then they got tired of waiting and left. Franklin ran back up the hill and looked for his friends. Then he looked at the ice cream bars melting in his hands. Said Franklin. "I have lots of time to grow up and become a famous athlete. I have lots of time to get a really good nickname. But there sure isn't lots of time for these ice cream bars." Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Enjoy my new series Oliver and Jumpy. 19 video books with about 500 pictures. There is text, but I also read it aloud for the younger children. I have written 65 stories and had them illustrated at great cost for your children's fun. Oliver is an elegant tomcat and Jumpy is his lady friend. Oliver loves to ride in Jumpy's pouch when they go for adventures together. Please find a link to the first book in the description of this video. Please always subscribe and like if you find my effort interesting. Thank you so much.